It's our Super Sports Saturday from Minnesota Motor Company. Craig Olson, Jeff Swedberg not here today, celebrating his birthday. The big number, I won't tell you how old Jeff is. I'll let him tell you if he wants to. 29? Is that what it is? Oh, okay. In his dreams, it's 29. He's exactly 10 years younger than me, and I'm 55. So there you go, folks. Now you know. Well, Tom Uvis is with us, the head coach of the Otter girls swimming team, and the Otters, of course, in action this week at home. They beat Little Falls the other night in a dual meet in the Central Lakes Conference, and the final score in that one was 103 to 81.
Right, it was a good meet.
Yes, it was, and especially, Heidi Busak set a new world record.
Well, she got her dream. She wanted to swim the 50 and the 100 against Whitney, who's a very good competitor from Little Falls, and Whitney is a junior, and I'm not good with last name. So, but anyway, she's a very good swimmer, and so Heidi swam in both the 50 and the 100. The 50 was real close. The 100, she just dominated the whole race. And, she just swam really solid. And to break a pool record in our pool is a great accomplishment, especially this early in the season. And just really real proud of her. She's Heidi does a great job.
Whitney Wise says here, W-E-I-S-Z, or Wise is the swimmer there. Yeah, 53.31 to 54.73, so she had a whole second on her.
Yeah, that was a great race. She's but those are two great girls, and what's fun afterwards is the sportsmanship between the two. They shook hands and talked for, I think, about 5 minutes after the race, and probably comparing notes of what they do in training and how to get ready, because they're both very accomplished swimmers.
Well, and then Heidi, of course, not only does she win those two events, but she's a part of two very successful relay teams, although you got nipped there in the 400 at the end of that.
Well, we changed our relay. They want to try 200 free relay. We don't do it very often, but this meet we tried it, and of course their dream was to set a school record or a pool record, and those records are really tough to set right now. And but it's a nice relay. We had Taylor Monk and Susie Kidsman, and then we had Abby Fisher, I think it was, and then we had, of course, we ended up with Heidi. They did a nice job. It's a very talented group of kids, and we're very proud of them, and they swam a very solid meet. What's fun in this meet, Craig, is that we really move people around, and that's really good for us. And I told the girls before the meet, I said, this is a word called opportunity, and you just never know. Sometimes when you swim an event that you may not think you're very accomplished in, that might be an event that you could be very, very good in down the road. And I've seen in the history of my coaching where I've had kids we thought were sprinters or good distance swimmers, and kids that we might have had in distance might have been very good butterflies or whatever the case might be. So it just worked out very nice.
Taylor Monk keeps doing it for you, too. She was a double winner in individual events.
Yeah, nice IM. She's again, it just shows you that she has a variety to be able to swim, all four strokes. What's really nice about Taylor in the IM is her two best strokes, of course, would be the breaststroke and the freestyle. So her second half of the IM is very, very solid. But as well as, of course, she's a very good butterfly and she's a good backstroker. So if she would be allowed to swim 3 or 4 individual events at sections in state, probably one of her events would be the IM, to be quite honest with you, and she'd do very well in that.
And you always, as we've talked about for years, Tom, you always have good IMers because you stress the versatility and knowing the strokes. And you went 1, 2, 3 in the 200 IM.
Well, we're really proud of that. Matter of fact, today's practice is all individual medley. That's all we're going to do. We're going to do a set today where we're going to actually, it's an all-out 5 100 IMs. But we like to do that. There's a couple reasons. Number one, it's variety. And number two, it reduces injury. But we're very, very happy with that. And same thing for our 7th and 8th graders. We had a full heat in the 100 IM of 6 girls swimming that event, and the same reason. We take pride in it, and plus we want our kids to be able to swim different events because you never know. They might have to swim, for example, be in the backstroke as compared to always being into their favorite event, which might be the 50 free or maybe the 200 free, whatever it might be.
How about Rachel Appert and Emily Hexon's race in that 200 IM to finish second and third for you? Did they have personal bests?
Well, they did. And Rachel, of course, is quite an accomplished athlete. She's quite a diver right now. And plus her relay was unbelievable. She was on a 27.0 in the relay for the 50 freestyle, which is a great time. Emily Hexum is just beginning to kind of discover, her potential. She also swam a 500, which she did a very good job in, and she's very solid in the relays. Normally, she swims a 200 freestyle for us and the 100 breaststroke, but in this case we moved her around a little bit to see what she could do in those other two events, and she did a very nice job.
Well, a good win in that home pool in the Central Lakes Conference. You had a lot of girls finish well, and just a good performance all the way around. Do you feel that you're getting some of your younger athletes acclimated to the varsity level too? Are you seeing that, or the junior varsity level, some of the young swimmers getting more comfortable with what they're doing?
Well, we think so. It's kind of an interesting. There's two meets here. There's an A meet and there's a B meet, and the B meet comprises of a lot of our 7th and 8th graders, and of course every time they get to race, they get stronger, more confident. And you can never substitute a meet with practice. So for them, it's very, very important, and we take great pride in it, especially in the relays. You do a nice job in the relays, and I think we have a very nice group of 8th graders and 7th graders that have great opportunities to really improve and hopefully step up to the block, especially when they're a little bit older.
Well, and we talked, too, before many times that the older swimmers kind of reach out to those younger kids, and I think that's just handed down from class to class, because these kids who are now seniors and juniors experienced that from the kids who were seniors and juniors when they were younger.
Well, you're absolutely right, Craig. We're on the deck together. A lot of times I'll tell the 7th and 8th graders to kind of watch some of the varsity events because you learn a lot. Also, we like to have our varsity girls cheer for the 7th and 8th graders. When they're swimming, we'll tell them, you watch this girl right here because this is her first time swimming this event. Let's really give her a big cheer afterwards. So we look at it as a family situation. We travel together. The parents groups are together. So when we have our swim boosters, we have our 7th and 8th grade parents as well as our 9th through 12th parents. So it's a pretty big family, and we're very proud of that. We want to have a smooth transition from a 7th grade all the way up to your senior year.
I think I look over at Nikki here, and I know that once the meet starts, Nikki really can't do much coaching. I mean, it's kind of hard to get out there and get in their face. Or
you'd have to run with them.
Yeah, you just have to be a kind of a cheerleader on the side there. But on the deck, do you have opportunity between events, following a race or before a race, where you can really get with a swimmer or two and just focus and get their mind on something that you really want them focusing on?
Well, we do. And again, Coach Monk and I are very much animated on the deck, and I'm not bashful anymore. After every race, I'll come up to a swimmer and I'll tell them a couple of things I really thought was really good. I'll tell them about, one thing I think they could really work on. Maybe they kind of missed the pad on their finish, but we use the meets as a kind of almost a training camp in a way. The big meets for us would be conference and sections and state, and so the dual meets are really more of a laboratory where we get to just work on some technique and work on fine-tuning stuff. And we tell the girls they have lots of freedom to make mistakes here. We don't mind if they have a fast turn, they might miss the wall. We rather have them be aggressive on that turn and learn from that, and then being always so careful what they're doing, and afterwards we'll talk about it. So we spend a lot of time in interacting with our athletes during the meet, and we of course have that luxury of it's a tight parameter. It's a 25-yard pool, and there's deck, so we have that great opportunity of coming in afterwards and saying what we expect. In a very tough meet, we'll actually talk about, for example, especially relays, we'll say, between our free relay, we told them you have to have kind of slower starts, more responsive, controlled starts, because that really has not been together. And, Little Falls is a good team. And if we would have a really get disqualified, that could change the outcome of the meet. And so we'll sit down with the relays and we'll tell them exactly what they have to do in the relay. Depending upon who we're competing against, like I think against Brainerd on Thursday, we'll spend a little bit more time in going over maybe some of the positive key events. Brainerd is always well prepared, and they have huge depth. And so maybe we'll take a lot of the first, but they'll do a pretty good job with second, thirds, and fourths. And again, to win an event, you can take first and fifth, and you score 7 points. If your opponents take second, third, and fourth, they're going to score 9. We lose 2 points each event. So the key here is how many fourth places we can take in a meet like that, or or with a first place, or how many 1-3s can we do, things like that. So it shows you the team part of it.
You are in a real nice stretch here as far as home meets go for fans to get out and watch you. Yeah, not a lot of traveling going on right now, and you love that, of course. But you've got a triangular coming up on Tuesday with Moorhead and Detroit Lakes coming in. How do you score that? Is it scored separately, like a double duel thing?
Well, this will be a true triangular, and we tried double duel before, and it just hasn't always worked. So I think what we've done in the past is we'll have 2 swimmers in the A, and from each team, 2 swimmers in the B from each team, and then, so that means that we'll have 6 actually scoring, and we'll score it out like that way, and there'll be almost like an invite score, like a 3-team invite. So you'll have a team that has the most points in second and third. It's kind of fun for us because it's not a dual meet, so it kind of changes our whole chemistry of how we'll look at. And we'll probably move a few people around and just see what we can do as an individual as well as relay teams and so on.
And then you have a duel against Brainerd, so that'll be more of your, will that be like an A lineup against the Warriors for sure, I imagine?
Big time A, yeah. That'll be definitely we will probably, unless something really changes, we'll probably run a pretty similar lineup to what we did in the first 2 meets, because of just, we have strength in the 53, and like as you mentioned, Taylor Monk already, and Abby Fisher, Danny Ross has done a good job, and Sophie Carlson has had a really great year, especially in the freestyle. I mean, her 200 free, she's just ready to break out and drop about 3 seconds in that event. She takes out really hard now. She takes out about 101, 102, and then it's hard for her to hold that, to bring that, but I think once she starts to bring up the pace of that, she's going to be down about 4 or 5 seconds faster than where she is right now. So the nuts and bolts of it, we're beginning to see some great development on some of these kids, and that's just great.
I would think the rivalry you have with Brainerd, the kids get pretty pumped to face Brainerd. It's a good measuring stick, isn't it?
It is. And again, and I know I've echoed this a lot, but this is another team that we have mutual respect for. I mean, we get along great as athletes and as coaches, and actually we cheer each other on at conference, because if we can't win conference, we like to have like a win line, like a Brainerd winner or something like that. So we have just a nice base of competitive respect for each other.
Sounds good. Good chance for fans again to get out and watch the Otters on Tuesday and on Thursday at the Kennedy School pool.
Yeah, it really is. This is a special year. I mean, we have a nice senior group, and it goes fast. We just telling the girls, it's funny, but once you get into the races coming up, I'm sure Nikki will tell you this in cross country, the fall season really flies by. I mean, it goes fast. Once you're done with September, man, you're already thinking about, tournaments and championships and so on and so forth. So, we sometimes forget that. We always think that we have an endless season, but we really don't.
That's winter, Tom.
Yeah, it's winter. I think so. You're right. It is endless then, but fall goes pretty fast, and so you gotta really enjoy it. Make sure you come out to it and really enjoy these athletes who are participating.
Outstanding. And you're not going anywhere next Saturday, right? That Minneapolis South invite appears on the schedule, but that's not going to happen.
Well, I guess they could not get any Saturday opportunities in the University of Minnesota Aquatic Center, which is really too bad. We had a chance to go on a Friday evening. We just couldn't make that. That's just too tough for travel. But it gives them an opportunity to practice, and we love to do that too. So, and I also like to.
A little distraction here from Coach Risbrook.
He's just trying to help me along. He knows any other help I can have. But also, I'd just like to congratulate a couple other seniors we haven't mentioned much, and that would be Greta Nicomo swam a really nice meet on Thursday, and she is a really good butterfly. We moved her in some distance events and see what she could do. Shauna Stolman, we put her in the 20-yard freestyle, and she swam a nice time there. She also swam a nice breaststroke. But, I'm just so proud of all the seniors. We have, 5 very, very good seniors, and we're very proud of all of them.
All right, Coach, have a great week at home with a couple of meets Tuesday and Thursday at the Kennedy School pool.
Thank you again, Craig, for all your support.
Tom Uvis, head coach of the Otter Girls Swimming and Diving Team, and we'll be right back at Minnesota Motor Company. We're going to talk some cross-country. Nikki Weldy is here, and we'll visit with Nikki after this break.